Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here once again. We are looking ahead to today's NBA playoffs, the second day of the play-in of the 16th of April. Hopefully, you guys all had a pretty good day yesterday, as normal. If you guys do leave a like, I appreciate it. It shows that you guys like the video, and also hit that subscribe button. As every day, we're going to be doing NBA FanDuel lineup advice videos, MLB FanDuel lineup advice videos, mixed in with some price picks as well for you guys. So definitely check out for the videos. Like I said, we posted 3 of them yesterday, and also like I said, it's very important to follow us on our Twitter. That will be in the comment section below. That is where we post all of our free stuff. And like I said, our Discord as well is where we post a lot of free stuff as well. So we have a lot of free stuff, and we do have our premium as well, if that is something that you guys are interested in. FanDuel by itself is $20 per month for MLB. And then NBA is going to be $15 for the entire playoffs. Prize Picks by itself is $20 per month. About 2 to 3 slips per day for you guys. If you want to try us out for the day, $9 for 2 lineups or 1 lineup for $5. So like I said, if you want to get in, definitely check us out. So let's get into today's little 2 gamers. So yesterday really wasn't too bad. Did cash. It was just kind of one of those, like I said, just kind of slates, you know. But we went Curry, Brandon Posadic, Paulo Banchero, and Wagner, and Green, kind of like I was telling you guys, and Cash. So, like I said, hopefully you guys did pretty good as well. So, first game of the night is 219.5 and 1.5 spread, Miami and Chicago. So it should be a good one. I do like this here for Miami. It's a little bit of a pace down here for Chicago. Obviously, it's the playoffs, but it does favor the Heat here. So Tyler Hero, 8-9. I mean, like I said, I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 Heat tonight. I'm not afraid of Chicago's defense. We talked about it all year, how horrendous they are. So yeah, I think if you're playing straight up cash games and single entries, you got to be favored in the Heat in this one. Like I said, if Davion Mitchell, I'm not sure if he's going to start, but if he's back in the starting lineup, another guy that you can maybe put in there. Getting a little bit more expensive, but if he's starting, I don't mind him. Like I said, it's the playoffs, so they're not going to be doing all these crazy lineups anymore. So, like I said, Tyler Hero definitely going to be up there. I think Andrew Wiggins at 6'6" is really not too bad either. He's probably going to play about 30, 32 minutes, probably get you about 28, 32 fantasy points. He's been in the playoffs a ton with Golden State, so he knows how it is. Like I said, a friendly matchup for him as well. So at 6'6", probably going to be one of your better mid-range plays of the slate. Let's see who else we got down here. Like, so you got Duncan Robinson and Highsmith, but I just don't like playing these guys. I mean, it could be maybe a blowout and maybe they get some points, but unless you're playing crazy GPPs, those guys aren't really needed. And then you got Bam Adebayo, like I said, taking on Chicago. We just know how bad their defense is, but let's go check it out again for you guys. Yeah, so Chicago's just horrendous. So like I said, the green means they're really bad. Red means they're really good against the category. So they struggle really everywhere, and then they're medium against power forward and small forward. So like I said, I just think you can attack everywhere. One guy that I think is going to be an interesting play today, and I think he's either going to make or break this slate, is going to be Ware. And the reason why I say that is this is only 6'1". This guy can put up 30 to 40 fantasy points, right? We know he can do it. We've seen it. But recently, like I said, Spoelstra's been, look at his minutes, man. 18, 34, 25, 19, 26. Yes, I get it. It's the end of the season, and, you know, he's resting some of his starters. But even mid through the season, man, 15, 18, 19, 27. This guy's a wild card. So I think if you're playing multiple lineups, especially single entry, if you're playing a couple single entries, I would probably have Ware in there just because it's such an easy matchup for him against Chicago. But like I said, is Spoelstra really going to play this guy 30 minutes now? It's the playoffs, or is he still going to mess around with this dude and play him 15, 20 minutes? I mean, it's an easy matchup against a Fook, a big guy. I personally think they should have to play Ware. I think Ware gets you 35 in this one. Maybe not 35, but maxes out at 35. But he needs his minutes. He needs his minutes in his foul trouble. Once he gets in foul trouble, Spoelstra just kicks him out. And I know this personally because it's happened to me like 5 times. So I like Ware as a player. It's kind of like the Hassan Whiteside treatment. Same thing. They play him a couple times. He has massive games, and he just doesn't. They play him 10 minutes the next game. So I personally like Kalon Ware here. If he plays, like I said, that's the big wild card. If he plays minutes, he's going to probably pop off for you guys. So keep him in mind. I think he might be the game changer of this one. Either he's going to do good or he's just not going to play minutes. Sorry, yeah, like I said, really do like that Miami side in that one. So Dallas and Sacramento, we have 213 and 4.5. 213, I feel like that's a little low. I mean, I know they don't have Fox anymore, but okay, so I think let's go look at the DVP. I haven't really looked at Sacramento recently since they changed up. Good against point guards, terrible against centers and power forwards. Okay, so I think I think Anthony Davis is a must play. He's at 10-8. I get they've been monitoring this dude, playing him 28, 30 minutes, but it's a play-in. This is it. This is it. It's the playoffs. They're going to have to play their big dog. That's why they went and got him, right? They got rid of Luka. They're not going to go play Anthony Davis and play in, I hope, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I hope they don't do that. But even in 30 minutes, we see this dude can pop off. So I think if he plays 32, 35 minutes, which is kind of where I'm thinking he's going to be, he might be a little higher. But like I said, they have to win this game here. So I'm not sure if they're the one where they're the upper seed and then they play lower. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's the playoffs. They got to get this in here. So Anthony Davis for me is my top spin up of the day. And I'm very intrigued to see what they do here. Like I said, Gafford, if he continues coming off the bench, if you don't trust Ware, you could look at Gafford. Like I said, if he comes off the bench, he doesn't play a lot of minutes, but he is absolutely explosive off the bench. But you got to remember, he's playing these extra minutes and having this extra usage rate when Anthony Davis is not playing his full minutes. Because Gafford's usually not a high usage guy, especially with the big dog like Davis. So I don't mind him, but like I said, I'm expecting Davis's minutes to increase, so maybe Gafford only plays 16 minutes here. But he is such a over the minute per guy that I think he's worth a look in tournaments. And he'll definitely have lower ownership than Ware, in my opinion. And then you got PJ, like I said, Derek Lively's back, so they're a little bit healthier. But if PJ starts, another guy at 6'5", especially with how bad Sacramento is inside, I think get you 25-30. And like I said, that's kind of what you need and will take here in the playoffs. As you can see, there's not as much value. So let's go look at the Dallas side on the defense. I think overall Dallas is a pretty good defense. Okay, well, medium defense. Power forward and point guard they do struggle at. So, I mean, he's not really an offensive guy, but Keon Gallus, probably one guy you're going to want to look at 5,300, might get you 25, 26 in this one. But Zach LaVine or DeRozan, one of these dudes are going to have to pop. They have to. They're going to if they're going to want to keep in this game. I'm going to lean towards DeRozan because he's a small forward, power forward, and he likes that mid range, and he's a little bit more reliable than Zach LaVine. I think if LaVine goes off, he'll have the big game, but I think DeRozan, if you're playing safe, I think he's more of the safe play to get you about 35 to 40 in this one. He is 8,100. He's a little bit more expensive than Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is only 74, so that probably puts him in a little more better position, and I expect his ownership to be a little bit higher as well. As you can see, like I said, small forward shooting guard, they're about, but like I said, the one good thing again, I guess for Dallas for Zach LaVine is they give up 3.1 3-pointers made per game, and that's what Zach LaVine does. So DeRozan, Zach LaVine, like I said, I guess I give it to Zach LaVine with a discount. But like I said, he's burnt me over so many times though. But it's the playoffs, so we'll see. Yeah, so that's kind of what we got going on. Let's go plug in a couple guys for you here. Like I said, if you get a Tyler Hero 8-9, I really think he's in a very good spot here. And I think you can just, like I said, if you want Mitchell, you can. If not, you can take the slight discount with Keon Ellis. And then over here, this is where it gets interesting. Like I said, you could go Zach LaVine if you want to, because besides that, there is nothing at the bottom of this area here. So shooting guard looks very horrendous. I mean, in that situation, probably get rid of Tyler Hero at the point guard, put him over here. Go Zach LaVine, something like that. And then he opens up for a point guard, which is actually almost the same. So never mind. I thought it was going to work. But as you can see, it's going to be pretty tight. I expect a lot of people have the same lineups in mind. You got DeRozan, like I said, Wiggins at 6'6", really looking good. Washington as well. I just don't see a ton of these low guys that I really care about. Maybe Max Christie. I just like I said, depending on what his minutes are, if he's going to get me 25, 30 minutes off the bench, yeah, I'll still play the dude, obviously. But like I said, they're going to get a little bit healthier now. But like I said, I still got to get my boy 80 in there somehow, and that only leaves me with 52. So it's still doable. Um, for sure, like so you could slide AD up to the power forward position, like say go put in Gafford or Ware or something like that if you want to. So anyway, that's mostly it here on this 2 gamer. Yeah, so if you guys like the video, leave a like. I definitely do appreciate it. And like I said, hit that subscribe button as well. If you want to come join us for MLB, it's $20 for the month, and rest of the NBA playoffs is going to be $15 for you guys. And we got prize picks as well. So like I said, we always have our free stuff that we post on our Twitter. Like I said, check us out. We post free prize picks, top stacks of the day, a lot of free information and stuff that you guys can use and put into your lineups and prize picks. So definitely give us a follow. Like I said, it will be in the comment section below. Click that link and it will take you exactly to our Twitter page. And like I said, give us a follow and we'll give you guys a follow back. All right, I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Like I said, we'll have MLB videos up here in just a little bit.